What has happened, this despicable act of what happened in Gwoza, is what happens at the ending cycle of terrorism. At this phase, the terrorists are carrying out their acts in order to do what? One is to attract attention. Then to bolster relevance. Then to mobilize support. And finally, to reduce support for the armed forces and the Nigerian government at large. I will use this opportunity to tell citizens to stand united. We must continue to emplace our trust in the security agencies across the country and continue to support the security forces in overcoming the security challenges that we are faced with. Next is the issue of the ambush on troops that took place on the 2nd of July along road Kaduna-Abuja. Troops in the conduct of operations were ambushed. In that ambush, we lost 5 military personnel, an airman, and we'll say at this point that may their souls rest in peace. I will say that in the military, we take pride in risking our lives for the safety of our citizens. This is what we do to secure our country. It is a pity, sadly so, that in this instance, our troops paid the supreme price. We should all know that we are in a state of war, because a situation where you are involved in counterterrorism, you're involved in counterinsurgency with our troops deployed all across the length and breadth of this country in various theaters. There is no other way to describe it than a state of war. Now, when you're in war, ugly things happen. Terrible things happen. And what has happened in Gwoza is one of those terrible and ugly things that have happened, that do happen in war. You take it from me that whenever there is a loss of life, be it military or civilian loss of life, it is indeed considered a tragedy. And with what has happened in Gwoza and what is also happening in other areas, we mourn with those that have lost their loved ones as a result of what has happened. I will say that our operations are going according to plan. And these operations, in the Northeast in particular, in recent times, have targeted the leadership of the terrorist groups. We have depleted their resources, and we have also reduced their influence and their support base. Nevertheless, our operations moves on and moves forward. Now to the question about the siting of the School of Islamic Affairs. Why does the military have a School of Islamic Affairs? I will tell you that the military does not only have the School of Islamic Affairs, we also have the chaplain school. Being military men does not make us not to be spiritually inclined. They say that life is spiritual. Things start from the spiritual before we see them in the physical. We in the military are also aware of that. So we pray. We pray according to our religion, be it Christian or Islam. And what is the purpose of a school? Is to develop and build capacity. So if you want somebody to go and preach to others, he should know what he's preaching about. He should be able to read the scriptures from one point to the other in whatever religion so that he can communicate that breakdown to the troops and build their faith. I believe that answers that question. As to the question relating to the widow of one of our personnel that died long time ago in the C-130, I believe that what she needs to do is to approach the military through the appropriate channels so that it can be looked into. You know, that incident, C-130, I think 1992, that's a very long time ago. Yeah, so she should approach us and we will look into it. Thank you very much.